What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails into Reverie. Last time we finished Rain's Act 3, Route Clear, Cruel, I almost said Clear Blue Skies, Cruel Blue Skies, where there's a lot of questions that need answering. Obviously, Professor Schmidt can't make heads or tails of all the technology they've been seeing while they were in Nord. It's far more advanced than anything that should be possible in the world at the moment. Like, there's no one in the world that should be able to create this kind of advanced technology where, like, just... I mean, obviously, previously, the whole reason the Soldats were unmanned in Cold Steel 4 was because of the curse. So it wasn't a scientific thing, but here we have all these tanks and whatnot being operated to do very specific tasks. So it's not as if they're just being unmanned and being, like, sent to one location on autopilot. Like, they're actively working like AI, essentially. But in the end, we were able to stop the crisis in the Nord Highlands, but in the midst of it, Rain was able to somehow, his Tierfing S, which I guess is his Soldat that he uses now to replace Valmar, he was able to summon it out of nowhere. The way he used to summon Valimar. Like, he reached out to the sky and called for it, and it came. Not even just came, it's almost as if it manifested where he was standing, and then he just flew into the sky with it. And then after the fact, Rain, well, I guess before that, a giant Divine Knight-looking machine appeared in the sky, took down the Merkba and the Courageous with very quick strikes, teleporting all around, and then was about to finish the job at the settlement, but then when Aurelia and Kurt arrived, I guess it just decided to leave. And then when they got Rain out of the cockpit of his Tierfing S, he now had slightly whiter hair and a yellow eye. So there's a lot to kind of unpack there, and, for a moment he was just like, he told everyone he's so happy to see them, he's missed them so much, which is weird because, it wasn't that long ago that he saw them, so a lot of questions need answering, but we're gonna figure that out as we move into Act 4 of the game, so let's go. We can really start anywhere. I guess I would say the most interesting place to start is going to be Rain's route. So we're jumping to 321, so all of this stuff took place on 319, so this is gonna be 2 days later. So let's just start with Rain's route and see where it takes us, obviously, because Lloyd and Rufus's route end on a pretty, normal note, whereas with Rain's, it's a pretty cliffhangery note. So let's go ahead and continue with Rain's. Obviously, I'm sure it won't be very long before they make us do the other routes anyway. Spirit Shrine, huh? We've been to the Arya Shrine before.
2年前の内戦時にもノルドの地に現れていたが
Hi, Roselia.
ここ最近の霊脈異常に伴って再び出現したようでな。わらわたちもこれを使って駆けつけたというわけじゃ。
確かにこの付近ならクロスベルへの並列転移もできそうね。
Oh wait, Rain looks back to normal now. It does seem like we'll be able to use parallel teleportation to go to Crossbell. Oh, so they're trying to teleport over.
そうか。どうかよろしくお願いする。
任せるがよい。
他のメンバーも各地の霊窟で合流できたみたい。いつでも行けるわよ。
これで新旧の7組が揃うのか。オリバルト殿下の結婚式以来ですね。
ああ、他にも助っ人が来てくれるようだが。
Oh, and I totally just noticed Muse and Kurt changed clothes. I guess invading Crossbell is going to be an ordeal where they don't want to be branding themselves as Thor's military academy.
ルーファス総統の登場を皮切りとする一連の不可解な事件。悲劇を繰り返さないためにも何としても食い止める必要がある。
Disposed of. Or deposed of.
行くとしよう。すべての手がかりが指し示す地。
Oh wow.
ファンタジーより尋ねられし小さき影
デモンストラと戯れる幻想郷への帰路を。
And we're off. The previous day, okay. It took half a day for the Republican Army to get the situation at their base under control and come to Nord's aid. They claimed to have no idea why their tanks and airships had started acting on their own. They were also clearly finding it hard to believe that all the weapons slated to be destroyed could have just disappeared. We owe you our deepest thanks for helping to avoid a worst-case scenario here. I'll admit, I never thought the day would come where I'd feel gratitude toward the Ashen Chevalier. We're just glad we were able to prevent a third party from igniting the flames of war all over again. A third party indeed. Understood. Our unit will be here shortly, it seems. We anticipate it will take several days to remove all our weapons from the Highlands, but it should prove doable. Until that is complete, our army shall not interfere with one another in this region. Is that acceptable to you? Yes. We'll do what we can to make sure discussions between our governments go smoothly, too. I certainly hope to succeed. Phew, I'm glad we could convince them to give us the benefit of the doubt. They clearly suspect Erebonian involvement, but can't dismiss the idea that this really was the United Nations' work either. Especially since they must know as well as we do that physically moving that many weapons in such a short time wouldn't be easy. I imagine they're still having trouble believing that His Highness the Prince was abducted too. I'm not surprised. I'm still having a hard time processing what happened, and we were directly involved. The sudden appearance of that white divine knight turned the situation into the Highlands on its head. In the end, it disappeared before anything could be ascertained about its origin or objectives. During the chaos, the devices in the watchtower and on the giant statue, as well as the robotic Arios, vanished without a trace. This left us without so much as a single clue to work with. The Courageous 2 and Merkbah were also heavily damaged. Fortunately, there were no injuries among the crew of both ships, but it was clear neither would fly again anytime soon, explaining why we have to teleport. Furthermore, we still had no idea where the Sonorous shell was, and as a result remained unable to use the Round of 7. The United Nations also continued to block all communications, preventing us from learning about the situation there. Unfortunately, that left us in the dark as to where the whereabouts and condition of Alisa, Machias, and Toa. Well, we know where Alisa is, but Machias and Toa is still a no-go. The situation may have calmed, but we still haven't truly resolved anything. Your assistance will be a boon to us. Not that I intend to sit on my hands either. I'll be thinking of a way forward. I will see that they reach the capital safely. I'll be counting on you to do what you can on your end. Got room for +1? I was dreading having to explain my way through the checkpoint. There was still a lot we needed to do in order to quell the chaos, but it was clear that sitting idly by was not an option. We knew we all needed to come together and plan our next move as soon as possible. Where are we teleporting, though? Like, we're obviously not just teleporting into Crossbell City, I assume. That night in the settlement. You don't all need to stare at me like that, like I'm going to faint at any moment. I'm fine now, honestly. The words "I'm fine" carried little weight coming from you. Couldn't agree more. We took our eyes off you for just a little while, and look what happens. I really think you're blowing what happened out of proportion. We only worry because we care, Rain. I'm genuinely grateful you saved the lives of my family, I really am. But we want to know what happened to you, too, so if you know, please tell us. Seeing your hair and one of your eyes change color like that reminded me of half a year ago. It made me think of how you looked when the curse had almost taken over you. Sorry, I really didn't want to worry you. But I swear there's nothing wrong with me. I can't sense any curse hanging over me now. We were able to confirm from Aaron that the Great Twilight is completely over, so it should be impossible for what happened to Rean to be connected in any way, but... I'd like to believe that too. Oh right, I did leave that hat on Elliot, didn't I? But what happened seemed to be suggesting otherwise. The changes in your appearance are not the only unusual part of what happened either. You were able to summon a Panzer Soldat from far away, were you not? Yeah, how'd you even do that? It was one of the new ones from the branch campus's hangar, right? Yeah, from the new generation developed by Makarov. They still haven't been formally deployed, but they're stronger than the current generation that's in use. The Turfing S was specifically developed for Rean and tuned to him, but that alone does not explain what happened. Yeah, how did he summon it all the way from there? Because even during the, like, Cold Steel 3/4, anytime Rean wanted Valimar, he had to have him at least somewhere nearby. Not, you know, halfway across the country. Right, it's not meant to be able to teleport or cut railway shells in half. You normally only expect that kind of power from Divine Knights. I'd think the whole thing was BS if it wasn't coming from you. But speaking of Knights, what's this about something that looked like one showing up? We're all wondering the same thing. Hopefully we'll know more when Roselia and the others finish their investigation. Speaking of the devil, have you managed to learn anything? I have a question for you, kiddo. Did you feel anything unusual other than the changes in your body when you saw that white contraption? Now that you mention it. What is it, instructor? Don't you dare try to keep any more secrets from us. I'm not going to, I'm just having trouble explaining what I felt in words. The second I saw it, all kinds of images and emotions came flooding into my head. All at once. I can't remember what specific images and emotions they were, though. Really? I believe it was some kind of resonance phenomenon. You and the 8th Divine Knight resonated with one another. Wait, Divine Knight? You are convinced it truly stands among their number, then? What do you mean when you say they resonated? Now that you mention it, that thing did seem interested in Rean somehow. It appeared immediately after Rean used that strange power, too. Definitely looks terrifying. Wait a second, none of this is making any sense. Yes, you know as well as I do that it can't be a genuine Divine Knight. Calm down, I know very well what you're saying. I know that there are only supposed to be 7 Divine Knights, and they have all vanished from this dimension. But the mana flowing throughout it and the marks it left in the spirit veins leave no room for doubt. We can hardly afford to ignore that coming from the Elder of the Kin of Fire. Can't believe what I'm hearing. Unfortunately, I haven't a clue what caused the resonance to happen. Perhaps it's because you're a former Awakener, perhaps the cause lies elsewhere. But either way, this new Divine Knight will likely be our biggest clue yet in learning what we are facing. Since its existence is even more of an impossibility than the advanced technology we've seen and the changes in Rean's body. Well then, I'm still having trouble processing all of this if I'm honest, but I think I at least see what we need to be doing. Yeah, better do something than to just sit around worrying about it. We need to find the answers we seek that bring all this to an end. That's all there is to it. But grandmother, what brings you to Nord in the first place? We are fortunate that you're here, but I imagine your presence is no coincidence. Oh, I haven't explained yet, have I? I've been investigating something related to this case for a while now with a couple of helpers. I'll call them here now.
セリーヌよ、ちょいとツァイトと来てくれんか。何よもう、しょうがないわね。
Hello, Celine and Zeit.
せっかく向こうで美味しいミルクをごちそうになってたのに。
There'll be others. Still, I didn't know you were here in Nord. And in human form.
これも修行の一環なのよ。別になりたくてなってるわけじゃないんだからね。
I would have thought she'd be used to it by now, but it seems not.
こうして話をするのは初めてだな。エレボニアの子らよ。
Zayt, I wasn't expecting to see you here. You must be the SSS's Divine Wolf. You really can talk, huh? Thank you again for coming to our aid yesterday. We would have been in real trouble without you. The SSS told us about you, how you're a holy beast charged with watching over the Septarian the way Roselia was.
その通りだ。その使命自体、とうの昔に終わっているがな。だが、このゼムリアの地と無関係というわけではない。その意味で、黄昏前後の動向、特に霊脈の歪みは注視していたのだが。
I was under the impression that those distortions had disappeared after the Twilight met its end. They did, for a while, but some time ago they returned once more. The reaction we sensed was strong enough to be called a singularity, but we were unable to piece together anything else. We have been combining our efforts to find out more ever since. Then yesterday, it finally decided to step into the spotlight for us. In other words, the singularity you're talking about. Is that Divine Night? Indeed, we hurried to the scene and even we were shocked by what we saw. Unfortunately, we aren't entirely sure where it is now. But after your encounter, it appeared to set off in the direction of Crossbell. All roads lead to Crossbell, it seems. The distortion first appeared in Crossbell, too. Testimony from the 23rd Armored Division indicated that the vanished warships and railway guns were sent there, too. That was also where the Supreme Leader first appeared to sow the seeds of a new war. I'm sure Lloyd and the others are doing their best out there, but they shouldn't need to face this alone. Yeah, I'm sure Alisa, Machias, and Toa would appreciate our help, too. If we want to find out the truth and bring all this to an end, I think we're going to have to go there ourselves. Count us in, too. We can't turn a blind eye to this either. All of our work related to the coup d'etat and the abduction are now finished. Yep, now we can fully dedicate ourselves to this. We should finally be able to gather in one place. Huh, guess I can tag along. Thanks everyone, I don't know what I'd do without you. This begs the question of how we're going to get to Crossbell, though. True, the Emma Defense Force has the whole border fortified. We won't be able to rely on my Merkbar the Courageous 2 for a while either. But given the current situation, we may have another option. Indeed. With the spirit vein stimulated, we should be able to open the spirit path. I think that's our best option, though. It won't be easy to use that method to travel all the way to Crossbell. Indeed, the veins aren't as active as they were during the Great Twilight, and there are rather a lot of us. But I think it will work if we teleport from different spirit shrines across the land. That'll take some groundwork to pull off, but I can help out with that. Sounds like we have a plan. We really are fortunate to have you all. We will have preparations of our own to make, so how does departing tomorrow afternoon suit everyone? If nothing else, we'll need to make our way to the nearest spirit shrine. Alright, let's go with that. I'll see everyone tomorrow in Crossbell. So are we going to teleport like in the middle of the city, or what are we talking here? Well, the teleportation happened, so no. Okay, they're meeting in the wetlands, I guess? Yep. Rain's Route Act 4, 0th hour. Oh, at the gravestone they made for, Lance Maiden. I recognize this place. Yeah, the wetlands southeast of Crossbell City. This is also where Leanne breathed her last half a year ago. I thought it would be a safe place to arrive, given its distance from the city. I think that was an appropriate decision. Thanks for the help, Selene and Zayt. Think nothing of it, I didn't do much. I was happy to help.
そんなに経ってないはずなのに、どうしてこんなに懐かしいのかな。
言うな。大丈夫。きっと君の家族も無事でいるはずだ。
We know they are. Both Lapis's group and Lloyd's group checked in on them.
ええ、微力ながら
Oh, wait.
私も力添えをさせていただきます。
When did Claire get here?
クルト君、クレア教官も
I didn't even realize she was here.
今は信じて前に進むしかないよね。
I'm surprised you were able to make it, Major. Finding and taking care of all the Supreme Leader sympathizers in the army didn't sound like it'd be an easy job. Matthias Vander graciously agreed to take over the reins of that task. Generals Vandyck, Zex, Vander, and Craig are also taking direct roles in the effort. With the domestic situation in capable hands, I thought it best to focus on excising the problem at the root. And on a personal level, I want to know what Rufus is trying to achieve. It's regretful that we're still none the wiser on that front. The real Rufus said something about meeting next in Crossbell, didn't he? He did. I'm sure we'll be meeting both the real and replica soon enough.
リーン、体は大丈夫？
Yesterday must have put you through it, huh? Well, I'm not planning on pulling off anything like that again, so no reason for my family to get worked up.
分かってるならいい。リーンに何かあったらゼノとレオも心配する。
I don't know how they factor into this, but good to know.
効果てきめんだね。
I don't care what you do so long as you come back with good samples for my research. Literally all he cares about in life. Even the society isn't capable of making those devices or humanoid weapons. Just hurry up and get my materials back. You must really be frustrated with their absence to have agreed to come with us, Professor. At least we don't need to worry about any tech issues with you around. So what are you all planning to do next? If nothing else, I want to further investigate the spirit veins. I think we need to start by getting a solid grasp on the situation here. Our final goal is to apprehend the Supreme Leader and liberate Crossbell, but we need to proceed with caution. Right, we don't know what's lurking behind him and what the EDF is up to. We have to just play it by ear for now. Especially since we can't use the round of 7. If we screw up, we can't exactly reach out for backup. It's very true. It really hurts not to be able to communicate freely.
となると、やっぱ顔を出して正解だったかね。
Was that? Right, he was at St. Ursula. Lecter!
よう、お前さんたち元気にしてたか？ノルドじゃいろいろあったみたいだが。
How would he know that? How the hell are you always one step ahead, Scarecrow? And how'd you even know we were here? Don't even try and say it was a hunch. He is the one person whom I wouldn't rule that out. Just because we can't communicate with the outside doesn't mean there's no other way to find out what's going on. A guy could steal a transceiver from the EDF, for example. Oh, how cunning. I imagine that proved more difficult than you make it sound. Apart from that, I just know you guys. I figure you use that little hack of yours to getting around. Pair that with the other intel I figured you had, and boom. The fact I came to Crossbell right before the ceremony was all instinct, though. I just figured something would happen. That intuition of yours is truly as sharp. Who are you to talk about hacks and shit, Grumble? His acumen is impressive indeed. But if you've been in Crossbell this whole time... Yep, we've got notes to compare, shall we? We would appreciate that. I'm so glad that Alisa, Machias, and Toe are alright. Yeah, Lloyd and the others too. Can't say I've seen every one of them with my own eyes, but they're a tough bunch. I'm sure they're all still playing their parts. But it sounds as though the Ebon Defense Force are even more of a, well, force to be reckoned with than we feared. Yeah, I really don't want to come up against those new Zauber Soldats. We don't have any Soldats of our own, so we'll have to avoid a head-on conflict. Especially if they have so many of them. Just how long have they been preparing for this? Ain't that the question. Personally, I'm more concerned about where all those weapons that vanished from Nord ended up. We were under the impression they had been sent to Crossbell. But you say that doesn't match up with what you've learned? It sure doesn't. Besides, where would you even hide that much stuff in a small place like Crossbell? That's true. Active camouflage alone will only get you so far. If you're saying the EDF never brought them up during your time spying, that does suggest they really aren't here. Well, the only way to be sure is to check out for ourselves. Either way, you know where the EDF is positioned now, at least. The only places I've confirmed they have a presence around here is Michelin and a small number of the roads. I'll leave it up to you guys how you use that intel I've given you. Thanks for sharing it with us. It'll be really helpful. I think our best course is to begin by splitting into groups and gathering information. I'd like to start by learning more about the situation at Michelin, St. Ursula, and near the city. A prudent approach. Let's split into groups then. Green School will be responsible for investigating Michelin. Okay. Oh. So, this is the group, and then you get to choose one student. We're going to Michelin. I don't know who I want to bring. I'm not going to bring Kurt or Muse. They were just with us for a long time. I'll bring Altina. Why not? Oh, Yuna's coming along. I guess they got to introduce us. This is the first time they're being on screen since the game started. Guess this is our team then. I haven't been to Michelin since the send-off party 7 months ago. That's actually not true. That's inaccurate. We did the little story. We all owe a great deal to Yuna's father for his help at the time, so I do hope he's in good health. I really hope we can make sure of that while we're there. I'm sure we can learn something. Try not to stress too much. Yeah, we'll find out what's going on.
リーンもう無茶はさせぬぞ。私がそばにいる限りはな。この半年そのために強くなったようなものだ。よもや頼れぬとは言わぬな。
Sorry for worrying you, Laura. I'll be sure to count on you, battle or no battle.
それでよい。
Alright, we'll make our way to St. Ursula then. Sounds like the EDF aren't standing guard there, but be careful all the same. Should you find anything, inform us promptly. We'll make our way toward the city. I'm hoping we can find some way to get inside it. Should we find any elements of resistance, we'll offer our support. We're counting on you. Let's do this thing, people. We shall accompany them part the way. Yeah, there's a spirit vein. I want to investigate in that direction. Oh, and speaking of Michelin, there are distortions in the spirit veins over in that region, too. Be careful. We will. Thank you for telling us. I'll be counting on you too, Celine. I know, I know. If anything happens, I'll be sure to put the kibosh on it. Thanks, and sorry. I really hate to be a source of worry for everyone. If anything, with what happened to you is likely our biggest clue going forward. You needn't apologize. Fear not, we shall keep watch over him. And we won't let him do himself any harm. Heh, you'd hardly believe he's the instructor here. Sucks to be popular, huh? There's clearly still a lot we have to learn, but I'm sure we can find some way out of this if we work together. So let's make for Michelin. I'm counting on you all. Right.
湿地帯か。どうしても聖女のことを思い出しちまうな。
Right?
ああ、本当に。いろいろと世話になったからな。
あのね、湿地帯だからって湿っぽくなってる暇はないわよ。
その通りだ。ミシュラムに急ごう。
Well, you know what we gotta do. Class 7 reunion is what this is called. I mean, it's part of one. We're still missing a few.
新たな来訪者を登録。
Laura, Fee, and Celine. Well, let's find out where they're hanging out at. They're definitely not here. And it looks like they haven't unlocked a new area yet, even though we're in Act 4. Yeah, still the same number of ceiling stones, so... Guessing we have to progress further before we'll learn some more.
どうした？
What an intriguing turn of events, seeing the Reverie corridor, the land of trials, re-emerge in this manner. I'll happily step foot inside and challenge it once more if that's what it takes. Both to bring myself to new heights as a swordsman, and help to bring an end to everything that's befallen Crossbell. Even though you can't remember it while you're in here. Alright, so, guess this way. Not too bad in here, kinda nice. Reminds me of the more secluded places back in Trista. I feel like sneaking in a nap. Yep, I'm gonna lie down for a bit. Ooh, that sounds great. I think I'll join you. You can sleep when we get out of here. Feels nice being back in this form again. I've had to run around as a human so much, I nearly forgot what this was like. Hey, did you hear that? The kitty talked. Now there's something you don't see every day. Says the literal talking doll. Not wrong. Alright, well let's, we've had a few fights, so may as well. Alright, let's head back for a little bit of walking before we end the video. Alright. We got new artwork for Fee and Laura. Very cool. So I think Celine's artwork is the same. And I think she, if I remember correctly, she also still doesn't have an S-Craft. Yep. Just still 9 lives. Very exciting character to have. We'll leave it like this for now. Oh yeah, Crow we had earlier, so he's kind of under-leveled right now. Same with Altina. The same with Yuna, actually. You know what? Let's do this for now. Obviously, we do have those items I could always use. Excel Breaker, too. Alright, let's move. Probably good to get some fights in as well.
みんな準備はいいか。
排除する。
俺の番だな。崩れた。
食らいなさい。
とどめだ。
行くぞ。崩したぞ。
Alright.
私の番ね。
Oh, great.
私の番だね。
私の番だな。
面倒いの。私の番だね。行くよ。
私の番だな。
マイル。
行くわよ。私の番だね。さて始めよう。それ。キャッチ。やあ。走った。ダメ押し。リーサルクルセイド。危険度低下。
And you're done.
やれやれだね。
Yeah, and the lower level someone is, the more XP they're gonna get. That's how they catch up a bit faster. Ursula Road 3. Yeah, we want to head more into the wetlands, but I also want to grab all these chests over here. This way leads to St. Ursula. Sarah and the others can handle things there. We should go to Michelin. Alright, well, I guess maybe we'll be back here at some point.
速攻で決めるわよ。
逃さぬ。
Just kind of hoping to hit all three, but oh well.
秘技裏早く崩れた。
食らいなさい。ええ。はっ。崩れたわ。ここよ、リン。
分かった。はっ。
行こっか。やっ。戦闘終了。お宝みっけ。
So what are our groups looking like again right now? So you got 7 in these 2 groups and then 5 here. So between the main story, there's 22 total. Of course, Kia over there. Oh, right, you can make use of any of them here. Sure, why not? Oh, it leads straight. Right. This leads to the lakeside beach.
せい。
レアものゲットです。いっぱい釣れそうね。
せい。そこだ。手強いぞ。気をつけろ。
私の番だね。排除する。行くわよ。あとは任せたわ。任せて。はあ、くらえ。崩れた。頼みます。教官。
分かった。
せー
任せるがよい。砕け散れ。好機。
いただき。私の番だね。行くよ。
Take it.
崩れた。
隙あり。行くぞ。はっ。さて、さよし。
よし、やった。
こんなもん。
各種ステータス。
Give me that.
宝箱じゃない。
はっ。
行くわよ。行こっか。
任せるがよい。
行くぞ。はっ。せい。いつでも行ける。
I'll take it.
Say! Ha!
Oh, I didn't go the other way. Oops. We're already up here, though. It's one treasure chest. I'm not gonna go back for it.
Ha! Ha!
Oh, well.
そこだ。
チャンスだね。排除す。チャンス。ラウラ決めるよ。
任せるがよい。
Roadmaster, nice.
任せるがよい。壮烈弾。好機。決めるぞ、T。
ラジャ。せいや。
俺の番だな。崩れた。
いただき。
ユーナもすっかりこんなもん
Slowly but surely, getting everyone caught up.
ふむ、宝箱か。
Don't look like there's any more treasure chests, so I don't think it really matters which way we go. Alright, this is probably a good stopping point, so next time we're going to head inside of the Lakeside Beach, which leads us into the area right outside of Michelin. And then we're going to see what the situation is over here. So that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.